Hello, everyone. How are we all doing? So, all right. So, tonight, what I thought we could do is kind of start on the topic of this whole moving to Japan thing in a few short days. Um, to be honest, it is probably one of the most nerve wracking things I have ever done. Um, but we're going to do it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be a learning experience in all ways. Um, so basically, the schedule is going to be crazy for at least the first 24 hours. And then hopefully it's going to get better after that. Um, but then, we'll kind of see where the adventure takes us uh, then. So the first 24 hours are going to as follows. Starting on Thursday, I am going to leave the airport. Um, my first flight is at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I fly to Chicago O'Hare, followed by a trip at 4:25 Chicago time. That will take me from Chicago O'Hare to Haneda International Airport in Tokyo. Upon entering Tokyo, we're supposed to land in Tokyo at 8:45 p.m. local time, Japan Standard Time. Um, Following that, I will go out of the plane. I will go through passport control, get my Zaivu card, which is my foreigner or alien registration card, as it used to be called. Then I will turn in a work permit so that I can engage in money making activities while I'm there. I will then continue on to get my phone card, which is basically going to allow me to have some data on my phone. And from there, I have an hour and 22-minute ride. So Google Maps said from Haneda International Airport to Saitama. Uh, Now, the hotel I'm staying at is in Saitama, and I will be going to school in Tokyo. Um, so, I'm going to take the first couple of days, like 3 days, to just do that journey. Maybe go back and forth from, Saitama to Tokyo and Tokyo to Saitama just to get the feeling down pat. Once that happens, I'm going to have a couple of more days of just lounging in Saitama. Um, and to be honest, if I would have known that I was going to be in Saitama, I would have booked my flight into Narita International. But that is the way things turn out. So once I am in Saitama, I'm going to, again, like I said, take that trip just where I'm going to school. I'm going to go to a language school in Tokyo. Um, I'm going to just kind of do my thing. And after that, I will get an apartment, which is also going to be in Saitama, which is cool. Um, then I have entrance ceremonies, and then the 6 months of education kind of begins. That's what my real meat of experience is going to be. Um, so that's going to be the rough schedule. That's looking about a week in advance. So that's kind of cool. So I guess getting into some of the meat and potatoes of this particular stream, uh, I decided, uh, to do this whole venture in roughly May of 2022. So That went through a couple of application processes, which are not hard to deal with. It was just a bunch of paperwork. But in the end of November and early December, I got what is called a certificate of eligibility, which basically I'm not going to show you that because personal information. But what that says is that you have a legitimate reason to go to Japan, and there is an organization in the country that will vouch for you and kind of get you, basic necessities and things that, you require, like a legitimacy for being in the country for a long period of time, longer than the 90 days you're allowed to stay visa free from the US. So after that was sent, um, I had to get the visa. The visa is like 2 sheets of paperwork that you have to fill out, and the contracting organization that gives you the certificate of eligibility gives you most of that information. So you have to put on there your personal information, etcetera, and then fill the application out. It's not really that hard. What is weird is the period of time that you state that you are going to be in the country. So they ask you for a time limit on how long you basically need the visa to be for. And when I contracted with my school, when I, got in touch with them, I said 6 months. That's how long I'm going to study. Cool. When they sent my certificate of eligibility, they gave me an authorization of up to 1 year, 3 months. When I sent in my visa, on the application for the visa, I put that I was going to be there for 6 months. My certificate of eligibility said I'm allowed to be there for a year and 3 months. Can you guess how long they gave me the visa for? Right, 1 year and 3 months. So, they didn't listen to me on how long I intend to be there, but I am undoubtedly grateful for the fact that they totally just said, "Okay, cool. We'll give this guy the longest possible, allowance that we can with what we can do right now. Cool." So I have a visa that's valid for far longer, more than twice the amount of time I intend to be studying so far. I'm good with that. That's fine. Awesome. The visa was like super, super not stressful to apply for, honestly. Apart from like checking documents several times, it was pretty easy. Um, you just have to make sure that you include everything that you need to include. I put in some extras, like the certificate that my school sent me saying that I was accepted to the school. Um, I put in an extra photo of myself, which you need to include a photo when applying for a visa for Japan. I put in, any other records that I needed to show that yes, this is a legitimate purpose for which I'm coming into your country. So that part was like the most stressful is just making sure you have all of the documents you need. But it is profoundly not hard to apply for a visa. So that's cool. Um, I hope that that's kind of a helpful outline of what you need to do. But when you get all of your documents together, depending on your consulate or embassy where you're at in the US or abroad, you may or may not be able to mail that in, which is exactly what I did. I mailed in my passport and all of its associated documents and the visa application, and they processed it. It took like a week, and they sent it right back. In the matter of like 2 weeks, I had my passport back with the visa in it, with the certificate of eligibility in it, and we're good to go. It was a really, really painless process. I was super, super thrilled with how that came back. And they said, that if you missed something or yada yada yada, that your visa would just be your passport would just be returned, um, and then you'd have to go through the process again. But luckily, I didn't have any of that. They processed me quickly, easily, smoothly, and everything was good by all other standards. So that was probably the least stressful part of applying for this whole venture, which is by all means preferred. Um, yeah, so I'm going to be super thrilled to just take on this adventure and figure out exactly what I'm doing, figure out why I'm doing it, figure out how things are going. Um, I'm not going to complain. That's a total breeze when it comes to doing this. Yeah, so I have enough money saved up, I think. We'll see. But I'm going to be doing some teaching on the side. I contract with a company called Varsity Tutors to do some teaching, which is awesome. Um, and that's going to be a second source of income. I did do tech. I finished up that job, but hey, things like that change, which are awesome. So now it's just getting into the flow of things. I couldn't be happier with how everything else turned out. Um, but it's gonna be an adventure, and of course, I would like you all to come along with me. So far, all 10 of you, for which I am eternally grateful. If you didn't quite notice when you looked at my channel, my icon has changed. I have updated things, and I'm going to try to be as okay. We're not going to say as professional as possible, but I'm going to make things look a little better, hopefully for user experience. Um, but yeah, that's basically the long and short of it. I don't have much else to say. My bags are packed, pretty much. Um, Electronics are mostly charged. My iPad, or I'm sorry, my computer, my MacBook, for which I'm using right now to do this video, is not charged, but we'll charge that before we go. Uh, iPad, Steam Deck, as you do, is in the bag. I also have a nifty little gaming device. Here we go. Got this little fellow to play some old school games on the way over, in Famicom colors, because why not? This thing is going to be super helpful on a 12-hour flight, and it is really awesome. It is the Anbernic RG353V for Victor. It is, dude, it's great. Quality, awesome. And it's got a couple of cool features that I would not have expected to see on a gaming device of this size and cost. It was like 130 bucks. It was great. One, it has a touch screen, so I can poke around on it. Two, it has these three ports right here on the top, which are immensely helpful. This one is a 3.5 millimeter jack, so my Bose headphones can connect to it, and I can hear my favorite old Game Boy games in ridiculously high quality, which is awesome. This port here, possibly the coolest port on this entire device, is a mini HDMI out. So I can blow my favorite Game Boy games up and play them on the big screen, which is amazing. And finally, USB-C charging. Like, amazing. Because most of my other devices, if not all of my other devices that I'm taking on this trip, including my MacBook, are USB-C charging. That is super helpful because, wow, I can take effectively one cord. I'm taking multiple because one backups to multiple devices, but I can take one connector and my headphones, my gaming devices, my productivity devices, and any like peripherals or extension devices all connect to that same cord. And it's super nice. The only thing I think that doesn't, and let me like give you a live like look at this whole thing. The only thing that doesn't is I think my big Bose headphones. Um, No, they do not. These guys, Bose QC 35-2s, I believe. I think that's what these are. Bose QC 35-2s are going on the plane with me. And these guys are micro USB, which, while not ideal, they're still amazing headphones. Plus, they have this little bit here where I can connect cords to them and play my game system wired. So these, in combination with this guy, make an amazing gaming setup for the plane, and even just really in my apartment when I'm super bored. So yeah, you can bet that these are going to be going with me, and they're going to see an absolute ton of use both on the plane and while I'm just palling around. So yeah, I really honestly don't think I have any more. I don't think I have any other big, super massive updates to share. I don't think I have any big, nasty things to talk about in the time leading up to this whole venture taking place. I think it's going to, just pass a few more days, and we're going to get into Thursday, where I will be in my first airport, going to Chicago, then going off to Japan. So yeah, I think we'll head it off there. Again, for the 10 of you so far that are subscribed, I thank you so very much. If you've watched this entire thing, again, thank you very much, and I will see you abroad.